Hello. Welcome to the June drawing recap, of which I'm publishing in July. Now, some of you may have the unreasonable question to ask, is this guy getting really lazy with publishing these videos? To which I have to say, yes. Yes, I am. It's not intentional, and as much as I want to say that burnout is a thing, I think partly it has something to do with it. Although, just a heads up, I haven't done as much drawings as I would have liked for July either. Although, in my defense, we've experienced a heat wave, and I can't do anything about that. But you guys are cool with that, right? Yeah. Anyway, here's the video. Enjoy. Okay, let's get to the digital drawings. It's a bit of a mishmash of what I did during June. You'll see why in a minute. So around the 5th of June, I started this document trying to draw environments, but that's all I did, just this one single thumbnail. I'm not quite sure why I didn't continue on. I think it was just a moment where I just wanted to do thumbnailing a bunch of ideas, but I never actually went ahead and finished it. And then during a live stream, I drew a bunch of legs, so mostly the anatomy muscles for the legs, specifically around the femur area. Some of these look okay. I've sort of picked up on a method where if I draw the big shape first, namely the quads, and then apply the smaller muscles inside of it, it kind of looks okay. And then on the 14th, it was as part of a live stream. I did a bunch of things, and I think I started this on the 14th, and then the week after I probably continued it. I drew a guy in a suit. I'm laughing because look how long his legs are. Yeah, this was at a point where I was in a phase of wanting to draw. Like I really like John Wick. This is basically why I drew this. I like the themes, the aesthetics of that universe, and I wanted to draw and hopefully make something out of it, or make something adjacent to that whole universe. This was me getting frustrated with not being able to render folds, so I thought, let me do a quick study on how to render folds. And then I think from this week the week after the 14th, I realized that I didn't know how around the sleeves folds form, and I figured I'd try and practice that. This wasn't part of a live stream, and there's a red letter, so I guess this must be not safe for work. Again, it's more like a thumbnailing situation. I watched a Rembrandt video where he explained how he does fisheye perspective, and how you can apply that off within a drawing. My understanding is, if you do not have a picture plane, in other words, if you do not have if you don't mark out your boundaries on a fisheye lens, then you get that fisheye perspective. But the moment you put in a picture plane, or you section out what part of that fisheye lens you want to draw, that suddenly turns into a 3-point perspective where all the perspective lines are all curved. That's my understanding of it, or at least how I interpreted it. Still practicing. Oh, these are just a bunch of thumbnail ideas. I play a game called Endless Online, and I kind of want to do some fan art of that, but I've struggled at trying to come up with original ideas. So I thought I'd try for thumbnailing. I use a different brush to do the initial thumbnails. Fisheye perspective. Oh yeah, this is me putting into practice of what what Rembrandt was saying. This is when I realized that maybe because the second I put in a box, I lose focus of of the actual fisheye, and all I'm seeing is 3-point perspective. And this is me trying trying to picture like if what the perspective grid would look like if it was in a hemisphere. That's just the brush settings. I guess tried practicing rendering spheres. And then this last one. Okay, so remember this environment thumbnailing on the 28th. I for some reason had this idea in my head that I want to render, I want to draw, but it's not. I can't quite get it down on paper, and so I tried it 2 times, and I'm still not happy with this. But maybe I'll like. I know I'm gonna come back to this, and then what I've been doing is going on Pexels, getting a bunch of references, and then trying to compose a scene. I'm not happy with. I'm still not happy with this because it's too linear. It's too. The way I had it in my mind is a bit more. Like I still want the distance. It's hard to explain, but yeah, no, that's what I've done for digital in the month of June. For the month of June, I've primarily focused on drawing clothes, stuff like clothes folds and how they are lit from a light source. So this first shot, you can see that I took. Well, I was basically drawing pictures from that I found on Pinterest. There's a suit and there's a particular theme which you can see on this page. This entire month was literally nothing but me drawing suits, all kinds of suits in different poses. On this page it's just mostly the neutral standing pose. On the top you can see is a figure with the hands in the pockets, and below are just regular shirts. I mean, not quite regular shirts, the typical office shirt you'd wear along with a 3-piece suit. The thing that's quite difficult when it comes to clothing is what the type of folds and creases that appear. Now there's been different categories such as compression folds, creases, hanging creases, that sort of thing. But how they, you can't always draw a particular crease exactly for the many different situations or different poses. On this page, I drew a figure in a phone box and a character. I think it was a scene from John Wick that I found a still of online somewhere. I tried drawing that pose where the character was holding a gun, but yeah, in this case you can see where I kind of found it hard to draw the creases. And over on this page, at the top you can see it's a more of a perspective study. I think I was watching a Rembert video on fisheye perspective, and just below that are a few more dynamic poses. I think these were from a reference picture from Hitman that I found on Pinterest or maybe even Google Image somewhere. The one on the right was something that I drew from without reference, and then I figured I couldn't do it without reference, so then I searched for Hitman reference images. I think I mentioned before that I was watching a video about Rembert explaining fisheye perspectives. It's a pretty cool concept. It's definitely something I want to practice more of, and I will look more into it later. And on this final page I drew just a suit jacket, but with the arms in different positions, so a bit more of a dynamic posing. Instead of drawing the suit jacket straight on, you can see that as a result of moving your arms about, you can see the different types of crease appearing. I wouldn't say that I've mastered the creases yet, I still need more practice. All of these drawings I've used references, none of them have been done from my imagination, and I don't expect that I will be able to anytime soon for now. It's quite an interesting challenge to try and get your head round drawing the creases, because they look better if you render them with value rather than just using lines. Lines just make the drawing, in my opinion, more confusing. But yeah, that's about it for the drawing in my sketchbook.